Hey, what's up, everybody? Today, we're going to talk about the latest rumors on Tony Romo. All right. So we got a couple of, things that came out this week. And of course, we're going to talk about the video that Myles Garrett had. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right. So check it out here.
You, Jared. Mr. Garrett, make it happen. Dak Prescott is leading our team right now. I need you to take Tony Romo, take a couple picks, and give them to Cleveland so you can pick me up, please. I love to play in Dallas. Please make it happen.
All right, so there's a video of Myles Garrett talking about, reaching out to Jerry Jones and Mr. Garrett, Jason Garrett, about packaging Romo with some picks to move up to get him and to make him a Dallas Cowboy. This video wasn't recorded recently. Right up on this, it was recorded on December 8th, so it's kind of an old video that's just now getting released. It's gone viral, obviously. But let's talk about this, all right? Let's talk about, would this be a realistic deal for the Cowboys? Could they do this? Should they do this? All right, so this is serious, so you know the drill. Cap mode time. Tony Romo, okay? So let's get into it. All right, so for the Cowboys to move up to the #1 pick, it would be a gigantic trade, a blockbuster trade. But in reality, this trade probably would never happen. There's just too much at stake for the Cowboys. They're still building this team up. And they've got some good core pieces in place. Zeke, Dak, Dez is there. The young offensive line. They've got pieces here, and they still need to fix the defense. So I don't see them packaging future picks. All right. So in addition to that, we're sitting at number 28. So we're talking the 20th pick is worth 660 points in trade value versus the #1 pick that the Browns have, which is 3,000 points. So you're talking packaging, first round Romo, probably a bunch of first round picks, second, third. I mean, your whole draft will get wiped out. It just isn't going to be a realistic thing. It's fun to, kind of think about it like, what if we could pull this off? What if we could rip off the Browns and poke their eyes out? You never know. There's some GMs out in this league that you could poke their eyes out. Could Jerry pull off a Herschel Walker 2.0 trade? I don't think you can pull those kinds of trades off in this day and age, in this era of football and salary cap and that kind of thing. So I don't think that trade is going to be possible. So pretty cool to think about it and daydream about it and fantasize about it, but it's probably not going to happen. All right, so that's that for Myles Garrett. That little news flash that came out yesterday, pretty much. And now let's talk about this. All right, let's take a look at this article that Jason Lockenfora put out here as far as what could the Cowboys garner as far as a draft pick. All right, so let's take a look at this real quick. Let's look at this slide. All right, so as you can see here, Lockenfora is saying, consensus among a few personal guys I trust is that the Cowboys can get at least a third-round pick for Tony Romo, and possibly one that moves to a second-round pick based on Romo's playing time and ability to stay healthy. The Chiefs and Texans make a lot of sense to other football people. We'll see if either steps up. All right, so basically, Lockenfora is talking about a conditional pick. All right, and most likely that's what will happen. And for a conditional pick, we're talking about a future pick. We're not talking about getting a pick for this year's draft. So that'll be the challenge for the Cowboys, for Jerry Jones, and structuring a trade if the Cowboys do in fact trade Romo. All right, so there's a lot of details, a lot of moving parts. For the Cowboys, you want to get a draft pick this year, but they may have to do the conditional pick, which is likely what's going to have to happen. But there are other ways that Cowboys can get draft picks this year. a lot of the thinking is that the Cowboys, if they find a trade partner, they could swap first round picks with somebody in the first round. That'll help them move up. And there's also the possibility that they could get, later picks on top of a conditional pick for next year. So right now, let's take a look at, let's talk about this. Okay, let's talk about some potential landing spots for Romo. All right, so I have another slide here. Let's take a look at this. Let's look at this slide and talk about this for a second. All right, so here we go. So this is as of today. All right, so this could change, depending on when you watch this video, and once the combine and free agency and trades start happening. So here we go. So the ones I highlighted in yellow, these are the teams that have been rumored to have interest in Tony Romo and potential landing spots. So we have obviously the Browns, the 49ers, Bears, the Jets at 6, Buffalo at 10. Cleveland has another first round pick at 12. Denver at 20, the Texans at 25, the Chiefs at 27. And of course, the possibility of Romo possibly staying in Dallas at 28. So let's talk about this. All right, so where could Romo land? All right. For me, there's a couple of teams here that I'm crossing off the list. All right, so for me, the Chiefs, they're you can scratch them. Alex Smith is the guy there, and Andy Reid, he's gonna go with those guys there. So scratch that one off the list. Let's see here. The Cleveland Browns. I just don't see that the Cowboys. I don't know. I don't think Romo's gonna want to go there. That's a horrible organization, bad team. They don't have a running game. The offensive line is suspect. The defense, they're just not that good. The Browns would have to throw the kitchen at Jerry to make the trade, which you never know. It could happen. They have 2 first round picks here. Who's to say they don't give up that number 12 pick for Romo? But Cleveland is kind of low on my list. The Buffalo Bills could be a possibility with Tyrod Taylor. That's a possible destination. Although up north, up there, I don't know. But they do have a good offensive line. They have a solid running game. They have some receivers there. So that might be something that might pique Romo's interest. So they're there at number 10. The Jets, I don't see the Jets being a good landing spot there. The Bears at number 3, that's a possible spot. The Cutler, he's not going to be back. They're gonna need a quarterback there. Now they might just go ahead and draft a quarterback here. I mean, they have the number 3 pick. Same thing for the 49ers. They're there at number 2, so I don't see that they're gonna go and invest draft picks on a aging vet with a new regime there with Lynch and Shanahan. And then Cleveland Browns number 1. So the Chiefs. So that leaves me with, who haven't I talked about yet? The Houston Texans. I think that this team here, I think they would be in the mix, deeply in the mix here. So they're at the 25 pick. We did a video earlier about the possibility of Romo for Watt and that kind of thing. That's just stuff to talk about. Would that be a realistic thing? I still don't think it would be realistic, but as far as realistically trading Romo to some team, I think the Texans make the most sense. Keeps Romo in Texas. The Texans need a quarterback. All right, so Bill O'Brien, he's going to be the offensive coordinator. He got rid of the other guy there. He's taking full reign, so this is it for him. This is do or die. It might even be do or die for Rick Smith. So they need to do something here. This might be the move they make. All right, so keep Romo in Texas. Go to the Texans. They have a good defense. The only thing about the Texans, their offensive line is not good. It's not good. Nick Martin is the center there. He missed this year. Zach Martin's brother. So if they get him back and healthy, that'll boost them up. But you got to protect Romo. I mean, this is max protection. They're going to have to, if they were to make this move, they got to upgrade that offensive line. And for the Cowboys, if they're going to get a conditional pick from the Texans, we're going to hope that they block for him and so he gets all the playing time so the Cowboys can maximize the trade value for a conditional pick if we're talking about, a next year's second round pick or next year's first or whatever you want. If the third round conditional turns into a second or a second conditional turns into a first, whatever it is, Romo needs to be healthy and play a certain amount of games. And just throughout Romo's career, he hasn't finished a 16-game season in a very long time. So we'll see what happens. These rumors are going to keep popping up as we get closer to the Combine. Of course, anything that comes from the Combine will be a rumor. Romo is still signed with the Cowboys, so these other teams, they have to be careful with tampering. So anything that comes out will not be official news or official trade negotiations. There won't be any of that. It all has to be rumors and whispers to avoid the tampering. But we'll hear some things. Jerry Jones will be out there and the whole crew. So we'll see what comes of it. But even after that, the Combine here is at the end of February. Free agency and the trade window opens March 9th. So it's right around the corner. So we'll see what happens. What do you guys think? Where do you think Romo's landing spot will be? Do you think it'll be the Texans, or do you think that that we could do something with the Browns here, or one of these other teams? Or do you think Romo stays with the Cowboys? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Tomorrow, I'm going to discuss the best draft picks under the Jason Garrett era. So be back for that one, and we'll take a look at those. And I'll also talk about the bad picks too, but mainly we're going to talk about his best picks. All right, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please like and review the video. And I appreciate all you guys. All right, so enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks, guys.